Hello everyone. So today I'm making this video to explain the different colors when it comes to candle magic and manifestation. You know, if you know me or you know anything about my family, you know that a lot of us are very much into spirituality. I am not as much into it as a lot of my relatives. I have a cousin Titi who is phenomenal. I mean, she's a psychic medium. She's everything you can name. This girl talk about stars and aliens, and she say, what is it called? A star seed. That's what she says she is. But a lot of people will ask me questions about the candles and the colors, the meanings, and how you manifest things and stuff like that. So I made this video to explain. For one, I want to warn you, spirituality can become very scary, okay? I will tell you the scary dealings that I've had with spirituality that made me fall back a bit. In fact, you do not see a black candle here because of the manifestation I did with black candles. This is a picture of me with my grandmother. If you know me, you know that my grandmother was my world, and when she died, it was the biggest struggle I've ever had to deal with. It was the worst heartbreak of my life. And yes, I used the black candle to manifest her. Okay, before I even go to explain that black candle, let me first say, my grandmother is the one who let me know when I was 13 that I had that gift of communicating with the dead. I don't remember this, but from what my grandmother said when I was 13, we were at a family reunion at her sister's house up in Tifton, Georgia. We were at a trailer park, and it was during the family reunion. A bunch of the elders were talking. I was only 13, so I was playing with the kids. But my grandmother called me over, and she was telling them that I had said when I was 4 years old, she said I was about 4 or 5, and I said her father told me that he killed someone, chopped their head off. She said I saw his picture in her house when I was a little kid, and I told her, this man told me that he chopped someone's head off. She said she looked at me very shocked, wondering where did I get that from. Again, I don't remember that. I just remember being 13 and her calling me over during a family reunion telling me I said this stuff when I was about 4 or 5 years old. But I don't remember back that far at age 4. Nonetheless, at that family reunion, when I was 13, I learned that that was actually a family secret. And it was something that she had never told anyone, that only if you were her age, you would have known. And it was something that her siblings kept a secret. That her father killed someone in Georgetown, South Carolina, and fled the state. And she said he actually did decapitate the person. So she was just genuinely confused as to why I knew that as a 4 or 5 year old. In fact, she had not even told my father that story. I was 13 when we all learned at that family reunion. That was my father's first time even hearing the story about his grandfather killing someone. So if I really was 4 or 5 years old and told my grandmother that her father told me that after I saw his picture, then yes, it's a gift that I had that I just, unlike others, I'm a bit scared of that. Everyone knows how much I missed my grandmother ever since she passed away a few years ago. That black candle, I used it several times. And everyone knows my grandmother is harmless. Granted, she's a safe person. But when I felt her spirit come in my presence, it was so scary to me. She used to scratch her skin, right? And it sounded very distinctive. It was a sound that I had never heard before. I don't know if it was the texture of her nails going against her skin or what. After I did that black candle, I was alone in my house, and I heard that noise as if it was directly behind me. There was another time when I woke up from my sleep and I felt for sure like I was not alone in the house. I understand that a lot of people are interested in learning about spirituality, but make sure this is what you want, because it's actually serious and it's strong. And if it comes on as strongly to you as it did to me, it can scare the crap out of you. I don't have a black candle here now because I'm just not interested in manifesting any more deceased people. I used the white candle to communicate, and I'll explain that to you guys later. But when it came to my grandmother, basically what I said to her through the black candle was that I didn't know that she was in the hospital for 2 days before she passed away. And I wanted her to know that it wasn't on purpose that I didn't visit her during those 2 days that she was in the hospital. And while it was a blessing to get a response, which let me know she heard what I had to say, it was still very scary. And that wasn't my only time having an experience with the black candle. You know, my little cousin Yum Yum, who died, she was only 19 years old. They found her in Coconut Grove in some bushes, dead. Of course, it looked like a murder because you have this 19-year-old girl who was healthy and everything found in bushes. So I used the black candle method again to talk to Yum Yum. When I went to sleep that night, Yum Yum came to me in a dream and she said, "No, it wasn't that. They gave me something that I didn't ask for." I don't know if I'm saying exactly what she said, but I know I woke up, I jumped up out of my sleep. Literally, in the middle of the night, I jumped out of my sleep with my heart beating fast. Because I swear to you, it sounded like Yum Yum had said it directly. She said, "No, that wasn't it. They gave me something I didn't ask for." So I used the black candle again. And I asked her, "Give me the details." I was like, "I woke up from my dream while you were talking. So please come back and finish saying what you had. What was it?" This might have been 2 nights later. She came again. This time in the dream was very clearly this guy named Neville. Yum Yum was with me and she took me to Neville's house, which was very strange because she knew good and well I did not like Neville. I didn't like any of them. So it was strange that in this dream, she took me to Neville's house. So I woke up that next morning saying, you know what? Yum Yum was telling me somehow Neville had something to do with something as to why she died. And I went directly to him. I said, "What happened with my cousin? Why was she found dead in these bushes?" The way he looked at me was like a mixture of shock and relief. Like, I knew you were coming, but I didn't know when, and I didn't expect it to be this quickly. You know, it was very quickly that I spoke to Yum Yum through the black candle and found out that he would be the person to go to. So that look that he gave me, I knew that he knew why I was asking him, but at the same time, his face looked so puzzled, as if he was trying to figure out how I knew that he knew anything. So nonetheless, Neville started crying and he explained to me that she asked for Molly and he gave her something that obviously was laced, that right in front of him. He described how she died and what she was doing when she was dying. He said he just panicked and just put her out there in those bushes. But they ended up ruling it fentanyl in her system. People are out here lacing drugs with fentanyl, killing people. I really wish they would make it a first-degree murder charge for anyone giving out fentanyl. Because people are asking for one thing and you're giving them something goddamn different. Yes, using drugs in itself is a crime. I get that. But the person didn't sign up for fentanyl. Point is, they asked for whatever they asked for. Whether it's Molly, heroin, cocaine, whatever it is, I don't do any of it. I don't do drugs at all. But speaking of, I don't know if you guys recall a few months ago when a girl I was working with up in Boca Raton passed away after consuming some drugs that she likely didn't even ask for. More than likely, they were laced. She was another person that I used the black candle. Her name was Melissa. Melissa lived in the very same complex directly across from a guy that I was talking to. And I just recently started back talking to a few months ago. I used to literally go to Melissa's house just to sit in my car and watch his house. We've all been through that, where we were obsessed with someone. Yes, I was obsessed with him. I've never gone inside of Melissa's house. I literally was only going to her house to watch the guy. Anyway, because I got hired at the same time as she did, we were in training together, we were put on the floor together, everything. Because of that, we were talking a lot. Every day at work, we would sit and chit chat and talk all type of crap and all that stuff, like, you know. So yeah, it was very devastating to me when I heard that she passed away. And then when I heard that it was about drugs, it was even more devastating. And it was something I was genuinely curious about, because something that me and her had in common that we established within a few days of knowing each other. She had a brother who used drugs who passed away. I had a sister, not Yum Yum. Yum Yum is my little cousin. If you know me, you know my sister who passed away. So when I heard that drugs is why she died, it really took me not necessarily by surprise, because I found out that she had used drugs in the past. I put two and two together. That place was full of drugs. That restaurant had drugs all throughout it. If her family wanted to file a wrongful death lawsuit or any type of thing on that restaurant, they would win it with a landslide, because by all accounts, these managers allowed drugs throughout that place. I reported that drug use 50 million times. They never did. They all tried to make it seem like I was a problem. Scotty used to sit around there using drugs all day, every day, during every shift. Deanna used to use drugs all day, every day, during every shift. So I was genuinely curious to know who Melissa was with when she died. Like, I was just curious to know what happened. Coincidentally, she died in the parking lot that my cousin Bowleg works in as a lot attendant. Isn't that like it was just made for me to find out? So yeah, I went down there and tried to get the lot's camera footages. Her car, where it was parked at, where they told me she was found, is directly within camera view of the camera that I saw. But they told me the camera footages do not work. I heard she went to club space with, was supposed to go with Daya. It's a long story, because that night, there were other people from there who called me about going out that night. I didn't even know Daya was involved in it. Like, that's a long story. Long story short, I just wanted to know who she was with, because it didn't seem like she would be alone at club space. So I went to club space, spoke to the head of security about getting camera footages. There was another run around. They needed to know exactly what she was wearing, exactly what time. And also my cousin, Titi, the one who is very in touch with spirituality, who is a psychic medium, said Melissa came to her in a dream and told her stuff that I didn't even know anything about. She said Melissa was a singer. I didn't know that. I showed it to Melissa's family. They said, yes, she sang beautifully. She said Melissa did tarot cards. I didn't know that at all. Her sister said she did. I don't remember what else. All I know is I showed her family the screenshots and they said, yes, that was all accurate. So yeah, with Melissa going and talking to my cousin and giving my cousin information. In fact, my cousin spoke as Melissa to me and said, tell my family I'm sorry. Someone had to break the family curse. So I just felt it was meant for me to find out more information. I turned to the black candle to talk to Melissa. I said I wanted to know who she was with, what happened that night. I just wanted to know. Same thing. It wasn't the same night. I don't remember how many nights later, but there was a night that I had a dream with Melissa that seemed so goddamn real and scary to fucking death. And this is when I realized that even though it seemed like it was meant for me to know what happened that night, it wasn't meant for me to know. Obviously, whatever it was going to be something that was going to be too upsetting for me, or it was just something I was going to have nightmares about, or something. Already that the camera placed directly over her car that didn't have footage, which should have told me then that obviously it's just not meant for me to see. Then the security director at Space saying he's willing to show me the cameras, but he would need more information. Again, that should have told me that it's just not meant for me to know more. This dream showed me. I tell you, dude, I was walking with Melissa in this dream down there in Space. When we got to the lot that she was found in, do you know she turned to me and said, I don't even think you want to see the rest, so just go, or something like that. And I woke up sweating profusely. I woke up scared to death. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. The black candle, all of these candles are very strong. That black candle though, when you manifest someone from the dead, you will really get that person. That person's spirit will really talk to you. Whether it's in a dream, while you awake, it's going to happen. Because my grandmother, even though she came in dreams, my grandmother was standing behind me scratching her arm while I was wide awake in the middle of the night, and it scared the fuck out of me. So just be careful. I know it's an interesting thing. Everyone has someone that they're missing. Everyone has someone that they want to say one last thing to. They want to just hear one last thing from. They want information from. I'm just telling you, make sure it's what you want. That's what I want to say about the black candle. That's why you don't see it here. I will never again for the rest of my life manifest anyone from the dead. But if you still want to go ahead and speak to your loved one, get a black candle. This is what you do. And it's the same routine manifesting with all of these candles, really. You get a black candle. You pray over it first. You get a paper. You write down on the paper as if you are speaking to the person. And say whatever you gotta say. I love you. I miss you. And I just want to know how you felt in your final moments. You fold the paper. Place it under the black candle. You light the black candle. The candle takes a week to burn out. So make sure you have the candle set somewhere where it won't catch on fire. Near nothing else. Nothing that's flammable. I set my candles in the middle of my room. As you see, nothing is in my room right now. Well, in this part of my room, there's nothing. And this is where I burn all of my candles. So you fold the paper, sit it under the black candle. Let the candle burn completely out. After it burns out, if within that time, the person hasn't come to you yet, you take the paper, you put it inside of the candle. Then you go and bury the candle somewhere and water it. That's the way you manifest someone from the dead. Just be careful. Explaining, this is the candle that I use now. White candle. You can speak to people in the spiritual realm here, but this is not manifesting them. This is not bringing them to you. This is just to speak to them in the spiritual realm. They will hear everything you say in the spiritual realm through the white candle. And this doesn't require any writing on any paper. You can also use a white candle to open up new paths. It brings positive energy. So this is the red candle. The red candle, you got to be very careful. It's very strong. This is a lusting candle. Okay? If you know me, you know I've been abstinent from penis for several years. But I was so desperate to end my abstinence. I turned to this red lusting candle. And I don't even want to go into the details. I still have not had penis because I ended up going to my cousin, the one that's very TT, the one who's very much into spirituality, and asked her to remove that lusting manifestation from me. Because, yes, I was lusting hard to death. So this lusting candle, be very careful. With all of these candles, you need to be careful and make sure you want what you're asking for, because you will get it. The green candle. Now this candle, I will never tell you you can use it too much or that it's too strong. You know why? This is the money candle. This is the candle of manifesting jobs or opportunities, things like that. And it works perfectly well. I'm telling you, I've manifested so much money and so many great things have come my way from using this green candle. So I will never say that this candle is too strong. And how you manifest with this, the same thing. Like I said, manifestation is the same way. You get a paper, you write down your desires, what you want, but you have to say it as if you already have it. Like if you are unemployed and you're looking for a job that fits you, one that you're gonna love, right? I'm thankful for this job that I am happy to have and I enjoy. Or if you're trying to manifest money, you say, I'm thankful for all of this money that I have in the bank. Speak as if you already have it. That's how you write it down. Pray over the candle first. I'm telling you, this shit is strong. Seriously. It has opened up so many doors for me. Same thing, fold the paper. Sit the green candle on top of the paper. Let it burn completely out. Then you go and bury it somewhere and water it. Now this, the pink candle. This is the love candle. It doesn't have to be romance. You can manifest a loving friend. You can have a cousin or a sister, brother, any family member who you love, who you have fallen out with, or lost connection with, and you want to reconnect, rekindle the relationship you once had with that person, this candle works for all of it. Any form of love, not just romance. So it's the same thing. Pray over the candle first, then you write down on the paper the love you're trying to manifest or rekindle, as if you already have it. I am thankful for this loving bond that I have with my favorite cousin, or I'm thankful for this loving man that I have in my life. Go ahead and manifest love in all forms. So that concludes my video. I just wanted to explain to you guys the magic in colors regarding the candles that people use to manifest, as well as explaining how strong spirituality can be and how it might be scary. That's all for now. Bye-bye.